Hi, basically, I'm gonna talk about some of the differences that we have as non-native English speakers when compared with native English speakers. The first thing that you should be aware of is some of the sounds in the English language might not be there in your own language. For example, I had this problem where in my language we did not have the Z sound, Z. So it was not a very familiar sound. So we tend to kind of miss this sound when natives use it. So for example, the word is, it's actually pronounced is, not is. So what we basically do is when we pronounce it, we just say it with is, just looking at the spelling, but it's actually is. There are plenty of examples like that. Let's take the word physics. There's actually the Z sound inside physics, although it's spelled as S in the middle. It's not pronounced S, it's the Z sound. So it's physics, not physics. Another sound, the J sound, the J, in a word like genre. So I know it's spelled G-E-N-R-E, but it's actually, when we actually pronounce it, it's not genre, it's genre. So the J sound is actually something alien to me. So as non-natives, we have those sounds which are not there in our own language, and we tend to be a bit uncomfortable with it. Another thing is diphthongs. So diphthong is two vowel sounds gliding into each other. So the sound A, it's not in my language, so I'm not very familiar with that sound. So that often comes in many words. For example, the word lake, bake, make. We have that A sound, but since we are not familiar with that sound, we tend to just say it with a flat tone. Instead of saying lake, we might say lake. Instead of saying bake, we might say bake. So you see, we don't really pronounce it the right way, or the way native English speakers tend to pronounce it. Another diphthong, the diphthong O. Like let's say no, we have the O sound, but we just tend to say no with the O sound and without the diphthong O, but it's actually no, no. Similarly, words like boat or coat. So diphthongs can be a bit tricky for non-natives, but it's an essential part when speaking English clearly. Another thing I want to talk about is the stress in syllables. So what is a syllable? Syllable is a sound, basically. Let's take a word like machine. So it basically has two syllables, machine. And you can see that I am stressing the second syllable, machine. It's not machine, it's machine. So in that word, the second syllable is stressed. So in English, for each and every word, if it's composed of two or more syllables, then each syllable is stressed differently. For example, the word concentrate. In that, we have more than two syllables, and we just stress the first syllable, concentrate. So if we try to change the stress of the other syllables, that word might turn out to sound a bit different. So if I say concentrate, instead of concentrate, it's a bit different. So we should know which syllable to stress more. And let's take another example, trouser. Even in that word, the first syllable is stressed. Trouser. And you see, it's written as a S, but we tend to say the Z sound. So it's trouser, not trouser. So it's trouser. In addition to syllable stress, we also have the stress in words. So when we say a sentence, each word in a sentence is stressed differently. And depending on what word we stress in each sentence, the meaning might change a bit. Let me take this example. So we have this sentence, can I give you something to eat? So depending on what word I stress in that sentence, the meaning slightly changes. So if I say, can I give you something to eat? Basically I stressed the can. So I was basically asking, is it okay if I give you something to eat? Can. So the can was important there. And let's say I say it like, can I give you something to eat? So there I stressed the word I. Can I give you something to eat? Basically asks the listener if it's all right for me to give you something to eat. Let's say, can I give you something to eat? There I stress the word something. So that basically implies, can I give you something to eat? So you get it, right? I was stressing the word something, so I was basically asking the person, is it okay if I give you anything or something to eat? That depending on which word we stress in a sentence, the meaning slightly changes. We talked about a few different aspects which makes us different from native English speakers. Basically, we talked about three things. Different sounds like diphthongs, which is not there in our own languages. And the next thing is the syllable stress. So the stress in each syllable of a word is stressed differently. So the pronunciation also changes with what syllable we stress in each word. And next we talked about the stress of each word in a sentence. So basically depending on what word we stress in a particular sentence, the meaning slightly changes. So I guess you learned something from this video, and in the future I'll be making more videos like this. So hope you enjoyed it. Cheers.